Hello, you're here with Christina and Jacqui for another episode of SHeCOMMERCE, where power women and real talk collide in the CPG world.
I feel like we need sound effects.
I
Should I
do
do
too.
that? Should I
Let's work on that.
go? Hey, you have your
Absolutely.
singing. I have my sound effects. Okay.
Fine. Fine. We can compromise. Give and take.
All right. All right. All right. I won't give you grief. Maybe. We'll see. Hey, Christina, our guest today, isn't she amazing?
Oh my gosh. Everyone's going to feel so warm and tingly after all this. So
Uh,
much love from her.
yes, for sure. She is warm. She is a powerful leader. She is a
Authentic, about as
gorgeous,
authentic as
gorgeous
they come.
soul. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Well,
And
can't wait.
y'all just have to wait online until she comes on.
First, you'll have to listen to us talk.
Yes.
Lucky you. And
You have to earn it, you guys. You have to earn the goodness by listening
pay your
to
dues. Pay your
the
dues.
Yes.
Well, we'll hint a little bit. So, we are going to be talking about parenting and, maybe old ways of parenting versus new ways and how crazy things have gotten, right?
And breasts.
And the rest. Everyone just turned up the dial and leaned in. Yes, we are here for it. Stay tuned. I'm not quite sure where to go. Um, let's talk about some tea. How about that? I think we're already making it spicy and extra hot with the breasts. So, but we do have a lot to talk about in our tea, right? We have some purpose-driven
Oh my
marketing. We
gosh.
have a major female leadership win, and we have some shakeups happening in the retail media space that could impact every CPG brand listening. So, a lot to talk about. All of our
Complete.
favorite topics wrapped into one segment. So let's start with Dove because Dove. We've talked about Dove on this before. We talked about their Super Bowl ad, and here they come again, where the Dove brand is actually walking the talk, and we love that. They are using the FIFA Women's World Cup sponsorship to spotlight body confidence and help keep girls in sports. So, yes, it is a sponsorship announcement, and we know that there's a lot of that happening with the World Cup around the world right now. But I think the real story here is that it is actually happening. There's a ton of girls dropping out of sports at alarming rates over the last few years, and body confidence is one of the key reasons that they cite why they dropped out. And Dove is using one of the world's biggest stages to address this as a real barrier.
Absolutely. And whilst this is a very serious topic, it's FIFA, Christina.
Oh, sorry. Can you tell I don't play soccer?
No, really? But let's go back to Dove. I mean, Dove has been a favorite brand of mine right from the start when they started with all the different body types and shapes and that inclusivity. It was an eye opener. It was wonderful, and I love that this is how they continue to separate themselves
Yeah.
from so many other brands. They're not just slapping a logo on a jersey and saying, whoops, whoopee, we're here, call it a day. They're connecting their brand mission directly to a consumer problem, and it is a consumer problem, and then using media to create that impact.
Yeah. And we talk all the time about this. The real ROI is not just clicks, it is about that engagement and connection. And this is a great example of purpose and media and business strategy that are all working together to drive that. And, anything that helps keep girls in the game and build that confidence. Obviously, mom of three girls gets a huge thumbs up from me and from Jackie too.
Oh,
I'm
completely.
speaking
I
for
mean,
you now. I know you
yeah,
do.
no, I mean, your three girls, they're all cheerleaders.
Mm.
They're all in cheer squad. That is so hard. My girl, she plays football. I love that. And long may that continue, Christina.
Now, football meaning soccer or football
Oh
meaning
my
traditional
God. Yeah.
football?
The football, the kicking, the soccer, the FIFA type.
Or the
Yes.
FIFA type. Just wanted to clarify. All right.
But speaking of women who are changing the game, can we take a moment to whoop whoop for Fiji Simo, please? Thank you very
Yes,
much.
huge congratulations. OpenAI announced that Fiji will become CEO of applications and AGI deployment. So, for anyone who doesn't know her background, she actually helped scale Facebook's advertising business and then transformed Instacart as CEO. And now, and in case that's not enough, she's stepping into one of the most important leadership roles in artificial intelligence. Like, mic drop. Jeez.
I mean, three drops, quite
Yeah.
frankly, if we're going to rank them. Let's be clear. This isn't just another executive appointment. We're talking about one of the most influential technology companies in the world right now,
Mhm.
putting a woman in charge of how AI gets deployed into the world in a scenario where AI right now is suffering from male bias. OpenAI, congratulations. This matters, and
Mhm.
this is well played.
Yeah, it absolutely matters. And we talked about this on our very first episode when we interviewed ChatGPT,
Mhm.
that the future of AI won't be determined only by the technology itself or only by, a mostly male cohort. It will be determined by how it's applied, how it's governed, commercialized, and integrated into everyday life across, or it should be, across males and females, and having leaders that have strong operational, commercial, and human centered experience at the table, especially from a female perspective, is critical.
Completely. And can we just acknowledge something here? Women don't just need seats at the table anymore. We need women to help redesign the goddamn table. And
Hmm.
this feels like one of those moments.
Absolutely. Yeah. So huge congratulations from the entire SHeCOMMERCE sisterhood.
Oh, yes. Okay, now let's shift into the commerce side of she-commerce because Publicis just announced plans to acquire LiveRamp. And if you're in retail media, ad tech, data, measurement, you should be paying attention.
Yeah, very close attention because this isn't just your regular acquisition. This is about identity, data connectivity, and of course, measurement becoming even more central to the future of retail media. And
Mhm.
brands are facing increasing privacy restrictions and fragmented consumer journeys. We know this. And that ability to connect data responsibly across all those channels becomes incredibly valuable.
The way I look at it, retail media has spent the last few years building audiences and inventory. The next chapter is proving that effectiveness. And that's where identity measurement and resolution becomes the battleground.
Exactly. Brands are not asking for more dashboards. They're asking for actual answers. What's working? What's not working? What's driving incrementality? What's driving actual growth? And companies that are able to connect those dots will have the advantage.
Completely. So, our hot take, the future winners in retail media won't just own media, they will own measurement.
And with that, the tea has officially been spilled. Thanks, Jackie, for sound effects.
Purpose, power moves, and platform shifts. Just another week in commerce.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why we love this industry and we love being able to do this and chat about these topics. And we're so excited to bring in today's guest.
None other than the fabulous Julie Talbot, CEO, global CEO of Lansinoh Laboratories, a brand that has supported mothers and families for more than 40 years and is now undergoing a powerful transformation for modern parenthood. Julie is leading the evolution from a historically breastfeeding focused company into a more inclusive, innovation driven parenting brand centered around personalized feeding journeys, breast pumps, digital commerce, and meeting families where they actually are. She's also the first female CEO since the company's founder exited, or since the company's founder. Let me start that sentence again because you wanted the entry, right? She's also the first female CEO since the company's founder started the business 42 years ago. And honestly, the conversation goes
Wait,
way.
Jackie, that's
Mhm.
not right. It's the other way.
What's that?
She's the first female CEO since the company's founder exited the business over 25 years ago. Yeah. So the company's founder was there from the start 42 years ago, and she,
Yeah,
I guess, served 17
mhm.
years or so, or
Yeah,
something like that.
essentially.
And then,
All right, let's start that again. Okay. Julie is also the first female CEO since the company's founder exited the business over 25 years ago. And honestly, the conversation goes beyond bath products. It's about empathy and leadership, reinvention, and what happens when commerce finally starts reflecting real life. Julie Talbot, it is such an honor and a privilege to have you in SheCOMMERCE.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. It's so good to be with you and Christina today. Thank you for having me.
of course, it's our pleasure. Thank you. Well, Jackie, from your introduction, had shared that Lansinoh was founded 42 years ago, and that was a very different parenting era. So, as you stepped into leadership, what needed to evolve? What were some of the first things you said we need to modernize here?
Yeah, it's a great question and it's a great story. What I love about Lansinoh's history is that we started from a very real place. A mom saw a need and wanted other moms to feel supported. And that's still really relevant to who we are today as a brand. But like you said, Christina, parenting looks much different today than it did 40 years ago. And today, families are navigating different needs, different routines, challenges, circumstances. Families look different today than they looked 40 years ago. So for us, it's about really staying close to the families and responding to what they need now. And that's one of the reasons that it's just so important for me to continue to evolve Lansinoh, particularly in this feeding space, but also just in terms of how we communicate with moms, how we come across, what we convey that we're doing out in the communities and how we're supporting moms and the communities we serve today. All of that stuff is just so important to consumers now.
Absolutely. And I know there's a statistic that you shared in our prep call around 85% of families are combo feeding. And I think that that really is telling. So, how are you reframing that conversation around inclusive feeding? And for those that may not know, what does inclusive feeding actually mean?
Yes, absolutely. So that 85% statistic, I think, really reinforces that families are looking for support in the way they feed their babies. It's really the heart of this new campaign we just launched. However you feed, we're here for it, because feeding, I think, is one of the most personal and emotional parts of early parenting. I know for myself, it was so personal. I had a ton of challenges with it. So I come to this with a lot of empathy. And for us, inclusive feeding, really means showing up with the products and education that can support families. So whether you're breastfeeding, whether you're bottle feeding, whether you're doing both, whether it's the mom feeding, the dad feeding, family members, this looks so different today than it has over past generations. And so we're really looking to make sure we have the right breast pumps, be them wearable or traditional, the right bottles, all the support that moms, parents, caregivers need to take on this early feeding journey.
It's amazing. I love that you have grown with the times and have brought, others into that journey of feeding and being more inclusive.
Oh, amen. I remember my journey. It was,
Oh,
wow. I had so being coming from an Asian heritage family. On the one hand, I had a whole bunch of folks telling me how I need to do it in one way, and then on the other hand, I had a whole bunch of folks telling me, and then marrying into a Western or a European family, I had a whole bunch of folks telling me that why am I doing it that way? Do it that way. And I remember sitting there thinking, can I just have my babies in peace, please? It's hard enough with twins and feeding
oh,
them and all of that. It's just, oh yeah. So, I mean, I love this, Julie. I just absolutely love this. And I think that the messages need to be shared in with big sort of stereo sound across the world, everywhere. But here's my question for you though. What is your USP versus your competitor?
I think for Lansinoh, it's that trust that we've earned with families for 40 plus years. We're this US based company. We Quality is our number one pillar in terms of the products we put out because we know the population we're serving, moms and babies. It's just critical that quality is front and center in everything we do. So for us, it's that trust that we have and the history from being mom founded, and putting the consumer first in all of our product choices. That is our unique selling proposition today.
I mean, I can attest to the quality. Your nipple cream saved my life. Like,
Thank you. Mine too.
And
I
of
say
course,
it, Jackie.
the nipple, what are they called? The
Shields.
pads?
Oh, the
Oh,
pad.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I mean, oh, after the first very embarrassing, hilarious, however, incident where my breast got very excited because I was in a phone shop and got a new pink phone. I was like, no, 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 no. I think those pads are going in.
Mm-hmm.
You all have these stories.
We
Oh
all
my
have.
God, so many. Um, so let's talk about where the commerce side shines, Julie. Parenting journeys, as you said, they are so different, so individualized right now. How does that reshape the digital shelf?
Yeah, I think I can't even imagine how my mom survived without having, the digital shelf that we have now and the access that we have now. But I think parents are all shopping in these real moments. Um, so I think it's just really important that we show up when and where moms need us, whether they're in the middle of a 2 a.m. feed or they're recovering postpartum. How do we intersect with where they are and give them the products that they need at this journey? I mean, I think one of the things we all say is you just it's this there's no guidebook, there's no textbook in terms of how to do this, and you think you have everything you need going into pre-birth, and then you end up having an emergency C-section and you don't need all the products you bought, and you need something completely different, or you're going to breastfeed and you can't, so you need bottles or a breast pump. And so many stories about that. So I think for us it's about how do we show up with the products that are there to support moms along the way. And the team, we have an amazing team here. One of the things that we recently did is bring our customer care team in-house. And so if you call into Lansinoh customer service, you're going to speak to a mom or a certified lactation consultant.
I love
So, and if you want to stay on the phone with them for 2 hours because they're the only adult you're going to talk to all day, by all means. It does not matter to me. It does not matter to our team. We are there for moms. And I think, for us, it's this balance of tapping into the digital and the AI and everything we can leverage, but holding true to that backbone of AI is never going to be there for our moms. Like we need real moms with real experience and certified lactation counselors to support our moms on this journey. So it'll always be about balance for us. But I'll say 100 times, it's just about being there for moms.
I love that.
My God, I love that so much. There was some rapid blinking right now because I was just like, oh my God, that would have been such a godsend
Mm-hmm.
when I was growing up. No, when I was having the baby, because it was so incredibly overwhelming. They were my first and my only twins, and the IVF journey, and then the
Yeah.
twins journey, and then the NICU journey, and then the breastfeeding and bottle feeding, because I mean twins and not enough, all that stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, well, they're alive, so
Yeah.
bonus points for me. But
Exactly.
what do I do? And oh my goodness. You were going back to deep breaths, going back to what you were talking about with AI. How AI is being used now as an advisor, as a guider, as a guidance counselor, practically. Um, what happens when AI becomes the advisor for new parents, or parents going through a pregnancy or a birth that is, away from what they had planned, in terms of where they're not using Google search or parenting forums, and how is Lansinoh working with that from an agentic commerce perspective?
Yeah, I think we're on the edge of this, right? I mean, you were depending on the company, I think people are evolving quicker rather than others, but I think this is something we're staying really close to, and we're definitely preparing for agentic commerce in terms of how we're looking at our product information, how our product benefits show up, how we engage with not only these agents, but also consumers. And I use the previous example about our consumer care team because I think there's always going to be a balance for a brand like ours that's so high touch, such an emotional need state. I mean, when a mom reaches out to Lansinoh because their milk supply hasn't come in and she feels like she has minutes, hours to, fix this problem, and she's going through the throes of postpartum, and she can't figure out how to use her breast pump. Like, I need a mom, a certified lactation counselor. Me too. Like, it's
Yeah.
so many stories. I mean, so many of us have been there in that moment. I mean, it's like, it makes me tear up just thinking we're like reliving it. And I think, we have to be there to support moms because it is, it feels touch and go, and time is of the essence. And gosh, the last thing I want is an agent on the other end of a call or a chat, like trying to explain to this mom in this emotional state, because we've
Can
been
you
there,
imagine? Oh
like
my gosh.
how to use this pump. Like, is that how any of us would want to be treated? No. So I
No.
think you'll always see Lansinoh come at this with, what's the most efficient way, of course, for our moms and our consumers shopping. And that's where we'll tap into the agentic commerce and agents, and really prepare and making sure that our page are able to be navigated by both agents and consumers alike. And we have the support materials needed for consumers still. We will never go all the way to kind of this agent model, but I think you'll always see us having that personal touch because of just the nature of our products.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very clear that you understand that balance then of authenticity and personalization and where and when to best bring in AI, but it should not substitute that, human care and as you said, the human response of being there for moms when they need it, right? Uh, I think it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, this is not a place where AI can replace that human to human interaction. And I really applaud you for leading in that way, because I'm sure it is not expensive to have a customer service representative that has an infinite amount of time to stay on the phone with a mom or parent in need. So, kudos to you, because that, as a leader, that is a choice that you have made. And I think moms will appreciate that. So thank you as a
you. I think it goes back to that USP too, right? It's like that's what makes Lansinoh special, right? Some
Absolutely.
of the things we'll never trade off as a brand.
Yeah, and having that empathy, and I
Exactly.
think
All about it.
you being a leader as a woman and a mother has helped maybe in that space, which really helps to bridge us to our next topic, which is leading and as a mother and building that empathy. So you joined Lansinoh when your daughter was 2, I believe you shared. And your parenting journey also included IVF. So you and Jacqui are bonded there.
Yeah.
And you did become a mother later in life. So how did that shift your relationship to the brand and with the brand? And how did becoming a parent really change how you led people?
I think though it's the word you just mentioned, Christina, it's empathy. And when I joined Lansinoh, I was just still so close to coming off of this journey. It was still so raw and fresh. I had just used all the Lansinoh products. So I vividly remember, I mean, gosh, we'll never forget, right? But you vividly remember those early days and, the comfort and relief that you lean to and the things that help you along the way. Like that's why everybody always, or I got to reach for one. Everybody always remembers the little purple tube of nipple cream, right? If you breastfeed, and now we all use it on our lips, but it's like, you remember those moments so vividly. So I think just me joining Lansinoh, I say this all the time, and I don't want it to sound cheesy because I mean it from the bottom of my heart, but it's almost more personal than professional. Like, yes, I've had all this amazing experience, and I'm so blessed that I've gotten to work for amazing leaders and had experiences that have led me functionally and technically to be in a role like this. But I think it's the personal experience that I went on this maternal journey and this IVF journey and challenges feeding and you name it, right? It was thrown at us. And I think that's what's unique about all moms' journeys is everyone's is unique. There's no two that are the same. But I think all of that led me to this place of being able to lead with empathy and to, acutely understand what our moms are going through, what our families are going through, what our parents are going through in terms of, how challenging this is. And, everybody says like it takes a village to raise a child. And a lot of us don't have villages, and especially with how we live now, their the family dynamics. And so, I always like to say if Lansinoh can be like a little piece of a mom's village along that way. And I think that's how I lead. And, how we treat our consumers is, the same way, here in the walls of the Lansinoh office. It's, we're all just people. Some of us are parents, and you don't have to choose one or the other. Like there's a great intersection for all of these hats that we all wear. And so I think, I'd summarize by just saying, it really has just made me a much more empathetic leader. And even now having a toddler, gosh, she humbles me every day. So there's something to be said for the experience provided by, a child on this career journey. So
Oh, they are definitely humbling, especially as they learn to use their words and use them at you. Mommy, why do your breasts look like that? Or that's one of my favorites.
Yep.
It's great. Keep you humble.
Absolutely. In terms of all of this experience, was there a moment where you realized, Julie, that this wasn't just you marketing to parents anymore, that I am the consumer. This is me.
Yeah. I mean, I vividly remember, my daughter was like weeks old, like trying to breastfeed her. And I remember sitting on the side of my bed, like saying to myself, like, I think I was trying to get in touch with the lactation consultant. And I remember saying to myself, we as women have to do better here. I mean, I have all these girlfriends, a mother, like, how did I not know? I'm fortunate to have resources. Like, how did I not know that this is going to look like this? And like all these I knew it'd be challenging, but like not to the extent that it was. And I said to myself, if I survive this, I have to do something. We have to do something better for each other, right? Like even if it's just I pay it forward to a few friends. So when I had this opportunity to join Lansinoh, then less than 2 years later, it was It was definitely a little serendipitous, and
Mhm.
it definitely, has felt like a personal calling to me to be here. And I was like, if we can make it better for one mom, right? Like I've done something good. So
Wow.
I was there. I remember what it felt like, and I really just, I'm so fortunate to now be in the position. If we can somehow help other moms around the world, it's meaningful work.
I think, to be perfectly honest, Julie, I think it's the moms out there in the world right now who are so fortunate that you are in this position, because
Oh, thanks.
not only have you gone through a journey, you remembered it, you've honed it, you've now made it the vehicle in which you then advise and guide and provide better service and options for all the new moms, or even not new moms out there who are going through their pregnancy and baby journey,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
and that's the other thing. It's like some friends of mine who had their children one at a time, which is crazy. What's that about? Um, they
Jackie.
so I know, like, why would you do that? The first baby is absolutely works in one way. The second baby is completely different, and it turns everything on their head in terms of, wait, but the first baby did this, so how is the second baby so different? The first baby, was bottle fed and didn't want the breast. The second baby wants nothing but the breast, and I'm like, whoa, mind blown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And knowing that they have a place that they can go to ask, because again, from my perspective, my mom was just like, oh, I breastfed all four of you, bing bish bash bosh, that's all done, why are you making such a big deal? I'm like, because it is different.
Yeah.
Same. I have that same story too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that you should walk a day in your consumer's shoes and to really develop that empathy and keep the consumer, at the center. And obviously, there's no better way to do, like, you've walked the path, you've lived the life, so you really embody that within this leadership role. So we encourage all leaders to the benefit of doing that, whether you don't obviously have to go become a mom, depending on the job, but go immerse yourself with your consumers, understand how they live, and build that empathy. It cannot be, you cannot put a price tag on that.
No, absolutely not.
So well said.
You are the first female CEO since the founder exited about 25-ish years ago. And we've had, or Lansinoh's had male leadership since that point. What does that mean to you personally? And what changes when women lead brands that are built for women?
It's a great question, and I think we're seeing more and more of this today. But it almost puts me back in the seat of Rashida, who founded this brand 40 years ago when she had a problem she was trying to solve with the lanolin. Um, and so I've been the mom that the brand is here to support. So I know what it feels like to be in those early days, recovering and trying to navigate the feeding journey, questioning yourself, wondering if you're making the right choices. So it's that whole psychographic journey that you're on in terms of this experience, and it just changes how you lead, and it makes it impossible to distance yourself from the consumer because you are the consumer. And so much of our team has been there as well, either moms, dads, or supporting moms and dads that they're friends with or within their family. So you're not necessarily making the decisions from facts and figures and data on a piece of paper. Yeah, of course, I'm looking at that too, but I've lived this, like the real moments, the emotional, the vulnerable moments that I had that went along with it. To be able to understand the consumer at that level is so different. It's like Cristina was saying, right? You really need to be able to walk a mile in your consumer's shoes is so important, to be able to connect and to be a brand that truly will resonate long term in a meaningful way. So for me, I think just the opportunity to lead Lansinoh, it's an amazing privilege. It is definitely my dream job of a lifetime. I'm so blessed to be able to be in the seat and especially work with our amazing team. We have an incredible team. And I have the fortune of being able to express my sentiments about how much this means to me. But I think if you talk to them, you'd hear the same story about, how much our mission means and how it really is all about giving back to moms and serving moms and parents and families, of course. But that's what's so special for me. Not only do I get to hopefully make a small difference on a mom's journey, but I get to do it with an amazing team by my side.
I
Love
love
those stories.
that. I love that. So slightly sassy question. What is one outdated leadership expectation for women that you would love to retire permanently?
I would love to retire that women just need to lean in and do it all. I would love to retire that. Like,
Mm.
we do not have to do it all. We can't do it all. We do not need to be perfect. It's a messy journey. It's always going to be messy. It's never going to not be messy, honestly, whether you have a kid or not. But we do not need to do it all.
Preach. We agree.
I love that. It's basically what you're saying, Julie, is that we're not asking for a seat. We're just redesigning the table.
Yes,
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk a little more about your career journey that brought you to this dream job.
Okay.
There's a clear thread in your career. You were with Mars in their health and science division, Burt's Bees, obviously Lansinoh now. You seem very drawn to these mission-driven brands. Is that a fair assessment?
Very much so.
What is it about it? What draws you to them?
I mean, I think it's almost going back to what you said earlier, Christina, around being able to like walk a mile in these brand shoes. I've always said that I would never work for a brand that I didn't believe in, that I didn't feel like was providing some greater good product or service to consumers that you're putting out there into the universe, if you will. So I've always been, a very type A, like I want to be successful. I graduated college early. But then I ended up taking this job that I took it for all the wrong reasons. I took it for the money. I took it for, the fame, the glory, the whole thing. Right. So I actually quit that job. I was going to quit on my first day. And I called my mom, I was like, I'm quitting this job. I'm not doing this job. And she was like, you can't quit on your first day. So I was like, so I quit on my second day, and I had like moved all the way down the East Coast to like go do this job. And I have like totally like, I've graduated early. I want to get a head start. And I've totally like upended my life, my career. I'm like, I did all this for nothing. But you know what? It taught me the most valuable lesson that has made all this possible. And I think that is the thing about these mistakes that we make at these pivotal points in life, right? They take us down a journey that if that hadn't happened, I would not be here today. And it's just so funny to look back. And I always tell students this, because or young associates, because it's not going to ever be a perfect journey. But all that to say, it's given me the opportunity to make more stringent choices in terms of the companies that I want to work for. And I do it for the right reasons because the work is meaningful and the products are meaningful to the people that we're serving. So that's why I made those choices.
Which, we spend a significant portion of our lives at work and away from those amazing babies that we had.
Right.
And, it is a sacrifice. So I think it just makes the time so much well worth it when you believe in the mission of the company and you're passionate about it and you feel like that time is well invested. Although obviously, still a sacrifice, still a trade. Everything's a trade-off.
Yeah. You have to love what you do.
You have to love what you do.
Absolutely.
Life's too short.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, in terms of making those choices, as you made early on, what is harder, transforming culture internally or evolving consumer perception externally?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I'm going to cheat and say, I think they're interconnected. So you really can't shift how consumers think about you or experience a brand in a lasting way, like in a long-term way, if the organization's not aligned behind where the brand's going. So I think the way the company and the team listens to consumers and how we then make decisions, how we support our people and talk about the consumers that we serve shows up externally, right? So I think anything we're doing here in the office as a team is going to show up externally, whether in, you know, how we talk about the brand or how our packaging shows up or our marketing shows up. So internally, I think the work is just about helping people feel connected to where we're going and staying close to the mission. Sometimes we get so in the weeds, we forget, and we have to go back to what are we doing all this for, right? Like we're getting frustrated here. We're trying to figure something out, but at the end of the day, we're doing all this for the moms. So let's always reground ourselves and why we're here and what we're doing. And I really just want to continue building, you know, the momentum around staying grounded in this empathy and never losing sight of the fact that our work matters because it touches real lives every day. So I think it really has to be this combination, and it starts internally to be able to make a groundswell to evolve the brand externally.
I mean, your heart and passion just explode through the video. So I'm sure that cascades throughout the entire organization. And I think your point is valid. It has to start internally before you convince people externally.
Yes.
Alrighty. We have dealt with a number of heavy personal, heavy commercial, commerce-based questions so far. We put you a bit through the ringer there, Julie. So let's do some rapid fire questions here.
Hi.
What is your mom CEO survival hack?
Protecting time with my daughter. I block my calendar. One of the things that I believe you have to preach, live what you preach. And so every day I go and pick up my daughter at school. So I block my calendar from 2:30 to 3:30, and I run out and I go pick her up. And, you know, it's just like my hour that I get back to work after that, but it gets my hour of time with her. And so for me, it's about blocking my calendar and never, like, somebody wants to schedule a meeting, like that time is protected. I won't give it up.
Wait, I love that because I feel like we don't hear that enough from like higher level female leaders, never mind CEOs in a company, that middle of the day you are saying, this is protected time. Here's my guardrails. This is a non-negotiable. I'm going to spend this hour with my kid. Like,
yes. Remember when we used to
all learn from that?
We'd have to like sneak out of the office to go like to a doctor's appointment, or like, it's like, God forbid, I'm like, bye guys, bye. Like, I'm not trying to sneak out. Like, this, I own this. This is my thing. This is what I do. It's my hour of day with my daughter before, the bedtime routine. When I get back into that, but.
Cristina, I think we need to start a petition to make Julie the president of the world.
I was going to say the same thing. I love it. Let's do it.
Oh, gosh.
So, Julie, what is one parenting product that you wish existed? Just generally, that's not out there right now, but it exists.
Like, I'd probably say I personally wish I had a confidence button that like made me feel like I was doing the right thing and not feeling guilty all the time. Like, if I could have that one thing back, the guilt that I would like put on myself because I felt like I wasn't doing things wrong. So I wish there was some sort of like, you've got this button or some guidebook that we could really, and it's like, you don't even believe that anybody else tells you, your friends can all tell you, you've got this, it's okay. But it's like, we need to feel as moms that what we're doing is wonderful. It doesn't
just having like a choir of angels.
Yes.
Julie, you got
every
this.
mom deserves it.
I wish there was a pill you could take that instantly makes your milk come in. That would be great too.
Me too.
There are a lot of promises of that.
That's right.
But after me trying literally 10 different supplements and exporting illegal off-product label items, which I won't say, into the country, taking those and who knows what health impact
in there.
Still did not work. Just side note.
Well, tell me about it. I mean, I wanted to breastfeed my kids for 6 months, but twins, and I couldn't eat enough to make enough to feed them. I mean, I'd feed them, and then I'd have to give them a full bottle
Yeah.
each straight after. I was like, well, this is kind of pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're
You know?
breastfeeding, washing pump parts, bottle parts,
Right.
like it's just
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the things that
completely,
we do. I know.
And
completely.
the other, I feel like I'm being interviewed now, but the other product, Julie, this is something you probably can do. I remember pumping and going and being back at work and going into their, mother's room, nursing room, and taking calls, and you'd hear the whoosh, 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 whoosh. I tried to mute and then I had to come off to talk, and you'd hear, and someone would be like,
What
inevitably
is
a
that
man would be
noise?
like, what is that sound? And the women would never ask because we knew, right? But one of the men would ask, innocently, of course. But if there was a completely silenced one, or to your point, just own
They've
it.
come a
Yes, I
long
breastfeed.
way.
No problem with that, or
Yeah.
I'm breast pumping.
Yeah. Yeah. The confidence to just own it and say it. But I
Yes.
will say the breast pumps have come a long way, and ours are very quiet now. And they have the wearable pumps now. I mean, like so many of these things are just didn't exist such a
Yes.
few years ago.
Stealth pumps, Christina.
I had the bra thing that held them on, hands free, and it felt like Madonna in her like era with the cone bra. I was like Vogue every time and then it went. All right, well, that leads us to our next question, which is, what is your go-to hype song when you're getting ready for a presentation?
This is my favorite, because now that my daughter's old enough, she's getting like into music, and so we are definitely like Taylor Swift fans. So pretty much like anything, and she knows Taylor Swift now. Like she sees her, she's like, "Mommy, Taylor Swift." So it's very fun. So we try to have dance parties, and usually it's to the tune of Taylor Swift. Anything Taylor Swift.
Anything Taylor Swift.
Anything Taylor. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
No. See, this is why I don't know how you do it. You always end up asking this question. You, Cristina, you never give me this question.
I'm going to give it to you next time, Jacqui, but I'm still going to sing, so it doesn't really matter. All right. Well, we have one more. What is one leadership myth about working moms you'd love to call BS on?
Oh, this is a good one. The myth I would call BS on is that working moms are distracted, and that you don't get 100% from, a working parenting mom in the office, because they're distracted, they're focused on the kids. And if you were to hire someone who didn't have children, you would get more out of them. That's my favorite.
Yeah, we call BS on that too.
Completely.
I think once you go through it, you learn, all of these skill sets and characteristics, and just empathy, like all these things you learn as a mom that you bring to the office, are just so amazing. Like there are just a whole host of experiences that you otherwise don't get throughout a traditional career, if you will. So I think moms really are amazing associates, and bring so much to the table.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being here with us, and you are absolutely paying it forward and building that tribe of parents through your work at Lansinoh, through your own mission. And this has been such a feel-good episode, right? I feel like we all need to hug and just all love and goodness. So thank you for sharing that passion with us and all you're doing for the company, for parents around the world. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Cristina. Thank you to you and Jacqui for having me. It's been so nice to be with you today. And gosh, we have so many shared experiences. It's easy. We could talk for hours. So.
Oh, we could. So, Julie, with every episode of SHeCOMMERCE, we build a growing network of female leaders and advocates across the country. Will you take the pledge with us to continue amplifying women's voices, supporting modern families, and helping shape the future of commerce with empathy and inclusion at the center?
I will, 100%.
Amazing. Well, I think that's all that is left, is to say, bold brands, fierce women, one sisterhood. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.